Hi, I'm Lucy Longhurst. Get set to take the track in an amazing new sports sim. Go deep in the jungle with two very dodgy characters on Cybernet. If you're a sports fan or just like a good old multiplayer game against your mates, then here's one that'll really appeal to you. International Track and Field is the latest offering from Konami, who are no strangers to creating brilliant sports sims. They're responsible for games like International Superstar Soccer and its sequel, ISS Deluxe. Track and Field is a collection of 11 Olympic events, and although the game is great fun played alone, it really comes into its own when played against 3 or 4 other players. You can choose any event, but you must make a minimum score in each one. So to qualify in the 100-metre sprint, you have to run it in 12.5 seconds or less. The faster you are, the more points you'll get.
The time was 7.99 seconds.
You do get a second go at everything, and it's your best score that's taken into account. You can replay your finest moments and even create your own camera angles to see things from a different point of view.
The distance was 16.85 meters.
My favourite event is the hammer throw, and this one does take some skill. The great thing about Track and Field is the fact that you just want to keep going back to play it again to better your last score, and you'll be surprised how much you can improve with practice.
The distance was 93.79 meters.
The graphics in the game are quite spectacular. The motion of the athletes has been given a lot of attention. Even the water gets a look in. Just look at those waves and ripples. Pretty impressive stuff.
The time was 1 minute.
One thing I must point out is that besides loads of skill, this game requires lots of very fast-paced button pressing, which can get really frantic. You have been warned. There have been plenty of sports sims released, but this really is the best one we've played for a while. It's very addictive, and if you've got a competitive streak, you could be up all night.
Brilliant! Excellent! You are the winner!
Most games sound silly if you describe them to people, and True Pinball is no exception. Bounce a small metal ball around a multicoloured table that tries to trick and trap you into letting it fall down the gap at the bottom. But it's the playing that counts, and this is one of the best pinball sims around. You've got controls to tilt the table as well as hit that speeding bullet as hard as possible. Although there are only 4 tables to choose from, the detail and number of special features will keep you at them for ages. This is definitely one where you want your TV screen to be a bit taller to see everything at once, but the scrolling screen is no bad thing. However good True Pinball is, it's still difficult to know how many PlayStation owners brought up on high-speed chases and explosions will take to it. If pinball isn't enough of a challenge, how about saving the world from mad guys with big axes? Wouldn't you know, it's another strategy game. Put your armies in just the right place and give them just the right orders, and you might get to be a hero. Warhammer, the Shadow of the Horned Rat, comes from a role-playing game with small figures and dice. Well, the figures stay small, but now they're lovingly animated on a massive virtual landscape. Where you once had to work out all the speed, accuracy and damage to your troops, here you just push a few buttons. It's so full of detail you can easily get distracted and let those horrible orcs rampage through the village. Helping you through each campaign is your loyal and ever so thoughtful assistant, checking out the latest troubles so you may go forth and earn gold pieces. He's the guiding hand behind your quest for glory. Shadow of the Rat, a silly name if ever I heard one, is command and conquer with magic rather than missiles. It could be a little less serious, but then maybe you're not allowed to laugh as you defeat the Lords of Chaos. Timon and Pumbaa, the stars of Disney's blockbuster movie The Lion King, have a bug-chomping, lip-slapping game for all you PC owners. And if you think playing with your food is the height of bad manners, well, you better stay right away from this jungle of fun.
The guest we've been expecting, obviously. Welcome to our humble home. Come in, relax, take off your shoes.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Anyway, fun and food is what it's about, with classic games all given the Timon and Pumbaa treatment.
Look at all the things they can choose.
From here you can mess around with the options, controls, and more importantly, play the games. How about a game of Burper, which sees Timon shaking a tree and Pumbaa burperizing the falling objects from it. You'll have jungle bugs, fruit, and even flying monkeys to deal with. Yes, you heard me correctly, flying monkeys.
Hurry up and hit something or he's gonna run out of gas.
Pinball, a high-tech game with amazing graphics, impressive tables, and ear-tickling sound effects. Well, with Timon and Pumbaa, Pinball is given a whole new meaning, with all manner of furry creatures adding to the unique jungle atmosphere. And there's even a slimy snake ready to shoot that ball skywards. And remember Leapfrog? Well, Timon and Pumbaa prefer to call it Hippo Hop, and it's your job to gather together Pumbaa's favourite dishes from one side of the river, ready for the barbecue he's cooking up across stream.
For you, Pumbaa.
And even Tetris makes a comeback as Bug Drop, where you need to pack away as many bugs as possible ready to eat when the time is right. But one of my favourites is Sling Shooter, which puts you inside a target gallery slinging berries at hyenas, crocodiles and, well, any other animal which just happens to pop up. All of the games have an introduction sequence which helps explain the rules for younger players and amuses everyone else who finds Timon and Pumbaa as funny as we do.
Well, he helped. A little. Now, if you hit enough targets in the time allotted, you'll charge on to the next level of play.
Well, this really is a top-notch product, very colourful and very entertaining. It's perfect for kids and for all you adults who wish you were kids. And although the games are quite basic, they will certainly keep you and your pals entertained for hours. So, as Timon and Pumbaa keep on telling me, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how many bugs you eat.
Drops away after we finished.
Sorry!
If you're a bit of a movie fan wanting to know a little bit more about cinema than do they serve popcorn, computer movie guides are the place to look. The Blockbuster Guide to Movies and Videos is a little different from other electronic reference titles because it's really designed to help you grasp the basics of film history. Tours of each popular type of movie, say like science fiction, are the obvious place to start.
From the beginning, movies were a perfect way to create fantasies, and it didn't take directors long to realize that with the magic of film, they could tell stories not just of the mundane and the possible, but of the impossible and fantastic.
Once you've done your homework, it's off to search for your favourites, or maybe an old film you've heard about from a friend. The clips are longer than on similar CD titles, but there aren't as many as there should be. It's a shame because more unusual movies like The Red Balloon deserve as much attention as the Hollywood blockbusters. Talking of Hollywood, you can discover where today's comedians get their inspiration and just what those early comics looked like out of costume. So once you've been inspired by some of the 21,000 reviews and 4,000 biographies, why not test yourself? Questions are just text-based, no sound or vision at all, but they're still fun. However, I'm not sure about the rousing fanfare if you win. Give me some earplugs. However good a CD is, whatever it holds is fixed, and movies never stop being made. The Movie and Video Guide gets round this with updates from the internet, but you're charged every time you download new information you probably read about anyway. Cinema's a great subject, but this CD isn't quite the guide we've all been after, but it still covers everything from family to full-blown horror. Be careful what you take home with you. On to something a little bit tamer now, as computers take the small screen one step further. If you're a fan of TV quiz shows and really want to get involved, then take a look at a system that's already operating in a few homes. It's called Two-Way TV, and it's a way of interacting with certain programs.
Imagine a quiz. When you're at home, rather than shouting out the answers, each member of the family gets a handset like this, and rather than shout out the answers, you choose the right answer by pressing one of these big blue buttons.
And then their master computer compiles all the results and gives the score at the end of the show. So if you've been shouting out the answers up till now, here's your chance to prove what a quiz show genius you really are. what's red, belches a lot, likes to eat whole cows, and has no respect for the environment. Yep, it's those Hordelings from classic adventure game The Horde.
Simply terrifying.
The Horde was first released on PC and just recently came out on the Saturn. Its makers, Crystal Dynamics, are rightly proud of it, so we'll let them tell you what the game's all about.
It's a really fun game. It's a mix of action and strategy. You sort of build up your land and get it ready for the onslaught of the Horde, which are these just nasty red creatures that are sort of a cross between maybe a water balloon and a monster, and you wait for them to come in and they attack your village, and it's up to you to destroy them.
So basically the story goes something like this. You play the part of the young lad Chauncey, who's favoured by the king, much to the disgust and envy of evil Chancellor Cronus Mylor.
No! Nonsense! The lad saved my life!
In fact, the king has so much faith in you that he puts you in charge of certain parts of his kingdom, which you must guard and nurture over a set number of years. You start with the Shimto Plains. Here, life is simple and easygoing, and you'll begin with just the odd villager and a few gold coins. You earn those coins by building the village properly. For example, it might cost you 1 coin to plant a sapling, but when it grows up into a tree, you can dig it up and earn 10 in return. Cows are also a valuable source of income, and the more you have, the richer you'll become, and that's very important, because at the end of each year, Cronus Mylor will have no mercy if you can't pay your taxes. So it all sounds pretty simple, huh? And that's because I've missed out the worst thing about the game, the Hordelings. Every season, they'll descend upon your village and destroy as much as they can. They'll eat crops, cows, villagers, anything they can get their greedy mouths around, basically. There are many different types of Hordeling. These are the least powerful ones. They're very fast, but incredibly unintelligent. One swipe of the sword should get rid of them. And watch out for the ones with big teeth, because they'll devour your hard work very quickly. But the worst of them all has got to be the Shaman Hordeling. These are extremely mean characters. Not only can they transport themselves all over the place, but they can bring Hordelings who've fallen on your sword straight back to life.
He's crazy like nuts. He must be stopped.
Between various scenes, you'll get video clips to update you on the goings-on inside the castle. As usual, old Cronus is up to no good. Just what is his problem?
To the Shimto Plains. Garden spot of the kingdom.
The Horde really is a very good game with just the right combination of puzzles, strategy, combat and adventure, and it'll definitely stretch your gaming skills to the limit. And because the ending is so good, we're going to show you what happens when you defeat your final Hordeling. Well, don't tell me you're surprised. If you enjoy playing puzzle games on your PC, then we have a sneak preview of a game that's right up your street. Safecracker puts you in the shoes of a top security expert who's about to join a firm of safe makers. In order to prove yourself for the job, you have to break into your employer's premises and find your way to the master safe.
Accepted.
This is easier said than done, however, because the building has 50 rooms to explore and 35 different safes to crack open. This is one of the first CD-ROM games to use something called QuickTime VR. This is a system designed by Apple, which allows complete camera movement within 3D environments. You'll see replicas of antique furniture and rare works of art on your travels, so even if you can't crack those safes, you'll still be able to admire the walls around you. The game does seem to lack some interaction with other characters, but we'll bring you a full review of Safecracker upon its release. Simulation games never go away, they just get even more complicated.
I've been expecting you.
Deadlock lets its players take on the role of the leader of a space colony. There are over 7 different colonies to choose from, and it's your job to explore this brave new world using your resources, management skills, and technological research to reach your objectives.
Tar's production is booming.
But it doesn't stop there, oh no! You'll also be fighting off other colonies through military and economic domination, so you're definitely going to need your thinking cap for this game. Deadlock will feature loads of other options, including internet capabilities, and as you can see, 3D rendered aliens.
Our cities will soon be finished.
Well, this game's certainly not finished, but whether Deadlock ends up as SimCity in space or Civilization on the moon, will certainly bring you a full review upon its release. PC CD owners, it's time to get ready for this week's Top 10. Staying on track at 10 this week is NASCAR racing. Proving that size isn't important, Little Big Adventure at 9. Refusing to budge from the charts, FIFA 96 kicks around at 8. They're cute, they're lovable, and they're at 7. Yep, it's dogs. And slithering around at 6, it's those worms. But falling to number 5 is Encarta 96. Running things smoothly at 4 is Championship Manager 2. Hanging on in there at 3 is Strategy Sim Command & Conquer. Another footy game scores in the chart, Euro 96 is at 2. But straight in at the top, it's Duke Nukem. Oh, thought I was a goner there for a sec, but we're never gone for long because the next amazing show will be on your screens before you know it. Until then, I'll leave you with the intro sequence from the almost complete Tunnel B1. Don't forget to keep all those letters and emails coming. See you soon!